Hello. So I'm not actually the partner in crime today. I'm taking over your show. I've decided that I'd like to know more about the men of Blabbit. And so I have decided I am not the guest. I will be the host. How do you feel about that, boys?
Uh,
I'll,
you,
I'll be back in 58 minutes.
yeah, exactly. Ooh, wait, I think I have to run.
Don't you move. No,
Len,
no,
you
no.
see what happens when we give the guest a little bit of control, or really when she gets so familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess we don't have a choice on this, do
Nope.
we?
No. So welcome everyone to the show. I am your host, Marie Pawlak, and today we're going to learn a little bit more about these guys who've been hosting 42 episodes? That's insane. And I watched all of them. Can you believe that?
I do.
I discovered, Paul, you used to do voice over work and you're a voice artist. That's amazing.
Well, I do coach people on how to do that because I was actually there doing it. My claim to fame, I guess, was being the TV and radio voice for AOL way back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah. And one of the funnier stories that comes out of that is watching TV with my two young sons, and all of a sudden they're watching TV, not paying attention because it's a commercial, and they hear, "Why is America on America Online?" And they both start looking around. Where's Dad? I was on there for maybe about 8 or 9 months, I guess. And then the company, which was really big at the time, decided that they wanted to get a little bit of star power.
Mhm.
So my claim to fame, I was the voice of AOL right before Julia Roberts.
Wow. Now
Yep.
that's cool. That's a cool fun fact. So if we're
Yeah.
ever playing Jeopardy and that question comes up, you now have the answer to that Jeopardy question.
That's right. And the answer is, who was Paul Geiger? Thanks for asking, Murray.
Well, thanks for playing along with that one. I thought, I was just, as I said, researching the two of you. And then I discovered something very interesting about Glenn, making him nervous. So
Even I'm scared.
No, it's not figure skating, and it's not about his gold medals with that. It's actually something different. I discovered that you actually create websites that are ADA accessible, and that's something that's really unique in the market. People don't normally have websites that are available to the hearing impaired and the visually impaired. So I'd love to hear more about how that came about.
Well, it's kind of interesting. Coming up on 3 years ago, when I look back, it seems like it was within a week or two. It might have been a month or so. I actually had two attorneys that I met at different networking events asking me if I could make websites that work for blind people. Mm-hmm. My initial reaction, the first one was, I said, I need to take a visual medium and make it work for someone that can't see. They said, yes, we're having clients that are being sued about this. Mm-hmm. And a couple of weeks after I met both of those, a friend of mine called me that it was just at some networking event or presentation with the hospitality industry from someone that does inspections of buildings in California. And she mentioned how many businesses were being sued because their websites didn't work for blind people. So I did a little bit of homework, and that homework took me down the rabbit's hole for about 90 days that I just dedicated to learning more about this and trying to figure it out. Because when you start looking at this, 98% of websites aren't built properly for people that can't see, can't hear, had difficulty with them. Maybe they have motor skill issues, like they can't use their hand because of MS, MD, cerebral palsy. Maybe they have cognitive issues. And what just blew my mind was people with epilepsy are sensitive to movement. So if something's moving too quick on a website, it could actually induce a seizure. So finding out that most sites don't work well for people, and that between 19 and 25%, depending on which studies you look at, percent of the people in the US have one form of this disability or another. So we kind of took it seriously and decided that we were going to be, I guess, now kind of part of the leading community to make the website accessible to everybody and the internet.
Wow. That's really admirable. I love that.
And I know when I first met Glenn, that was sort of the kicker, because he was developing my websites, and when he mentioned, I'm going to make them ADA accessible, I said, I'm paraphrasing what I said to you on the phone, Glenn, but I said, I never even thought about that. And I think that is the lack of consideration. If you don't actually have one of these disabilities, it just doesn't cross your mind. But when you bring it up, when you do mention it, I thought, that's absolutely fair. That's a fair thing to do. So, again, I love the work that you do, because it is, it's certainly protective. It's something that you should be doing, but it's a noble aspiration as well.